I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Garoppolo fires. It is caught. Still on his feet is Kittle with a big play. And the stiff arm. George Kittle. Flags fly. He's down to the 30. What a run by George Kittle. Taking on everybody.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
So is it true? All four of the conference semifinal matchups in the NBA playoffs are going to at least 6 games? Yeah, that is exactly what's happening. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to, as you can see on the image on the screen, Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. The other half might pop in momentarily. He might be resting. Who knows? Well, of course, we give love to Brian yesterday. And, of course, he had a lot of takes to get off yesterday, on air and off. So it was cool to hear from him. But joining me again today, of course, is the man who is behind Stuck in My Mind podcast and the Real Wise Productions and the Real Wise Radio Network. It is the one, the only, the incomparable Wise El Jefe. How you doing, man?
I am doing well, brother. Anytime I get to be here, my day starts off well.
See, I love that. I love that. I love hearing that from him. And I love hearing that from you too. Now, if you want to actually be a part of the throng, be a part of the family, and interact with us in the chat, we are live right now on youtube.com. All you have to do is just type that, youtube.com/CE/Snowman in the Morning 50. That's Snowman in the Morning 50. That is Snowman in the Morning 50. And you will be amongst all of the fam.
Okay, so I just want to correct something.
Oh,
so when
Lord.
you say
Oh Lord,
cinco, don't say a cero, go 5-0.
See, look at that. Look at that. I'm getting Spanish lessons on the fly too. I love it. I love it. Thank you, sir. Okay, so yeah, don't deal with. All right, I like that.
Yeah, you don't have to 5-0. No, it's 5-0.
5-0. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Making me even better with the bilinguals. All right. So when you get to that, all you have to do is just go in the chat. You can type whatever you feel. Like my man Sig Diggy, like my man Andrew, like my man Cool McCain. I saw you on the Elite Eagles podcast, brother. Yeah, you got a good one going.
Yeah. I kind of I subscribed. It hurt me. It hurt. But I did subscribe because I had to support my brother Cool. So
right. I supported them too. I had to do that. I had to hit the subscribe button too.
Yeah,
I'm not an Eagles fan either, but
listen, I am a diehard Giants fan, so it was like
it hurts worse for you. Yeah, I know it hurts.
Since that's my man,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta support my man. So
yeah, I know it hurts a lot worse for you than it does me. But yeah, but be amongst them, and of course Sam, the Shady Sports Network, and K Pizzle. It was great to Pizzle. I mean, it was great to see you again, bro. K Peeps, Andrew, Ryan, and Trisha, all of our peeps. Yes, it is great to see you. Join them and join others because it is a wonderful, wonderful platform. So today, I just mentioned in the open, we're going to touch on the NBA actually having 4 conference semifinal matchups going at least 6 games, maybe with some going 7. We will touch also on Eric Johnson. Now, you might not know who the name is, but you might know where he's from. He is the mayor of Dallas. He mentioned that he feels as though Dallas needs to have 2 NFL franchises, but I'll touch on that later. As Wise holds his tongue hard, because I know, well, we mentioned Cool with the Eagles. Now I'm mentioning another rival of his, the Cowboys.
oh yes, the Dallas Cowgirls.
And I haven't really touched on that rivalry with him yet, but I guess we will today. All right. So all right, let's get started. Now, this might be an abbreviated edition because I do have something to do in an hour from now, but it might extend till 10. Who knows? But I know I have to actually jump out about an hour from now.
So you basically like you just kind of pressure me.
Well, hey,
I'll stay, man. I'll do the show.
Hey, because I know you got takes to get you. You act as though you don't have takes. You got takes for days to get off. I've learned this about you in doing this show now for almost 6 weeks with you. I've learned you got some takes for days, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So let's see, which one should I start off first? Let's start off with actually the better of the two games. So you had the Celtics and the Bucks. It was in Boston. TD Garden was rocking, and the Celtics they met the early pressure that the Bucks was putting on them, and you got the feeling that the Bucks wanted to push the tempo, and they successfully did it in the first quarter. But then second quarter, their offense bogged down, and Boston just took over with a swarm of good offensive efforts from Jalen. I mean, it just took turns. Jalen Brown, then Marcus Smart, and of course, all throughout it, Jason Tatum was, either hitting a three or dunking on him, just taking turns doing one or the other. And then the second half, basically they played to a stalemate, but the Celtics went out to a 14-point lead, 93-79 early in the fourth quarter, and the Bucks just decided to say, no, it's not happening. Led, of course, by Giannis Antetokounmpo, 40 points. But we have been saying this on this show, and we actually said it yesterday in when it came to the Sixers and the Mavericks, and that was, will the role players who play well at home travel? And we saw it on display last night. And we actually saw Budenholzer, the head coach of the Bucks, do adjustments like we thought he would. What was one of those adjustments? Well, it goes to one of the role players, Bobby Portis. He didn't play him in the fourth quarter in Game 4, and of course, it cost the Bucks the game. He hasn't played in the fourth quarter in this game, and he did nothing but grab a few offensive rebounds, grab the key offensive rebound, and a putback to put them up one. And then Drew Holiday took care of the rest with a steal and a block.
Yeah.
110, yeah, very key block. And a wonderful play. I'll talk about that in a minute. 110-107 is the final score. Giannis, of course, ended with 40. He had the game-high 40, along with 11 boards. Drew Holiday, although he didn't have the greatest of shooting nights from the field, he came up huge when it mattered. 24 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, a good all-around game. Oh, yeah, and a steal and 2 blocks. So this guy was money on both ends of the floor. You can also add Portis with his 14 and 15 key rebounds, 7 of them offensive. And Pat Connaughton, 3 of 5 from 3. He ended up with 13 points off the bench too. And that helped them overcome a 51% shooting percentage from the Celtics. And they seemed to hit everything but the last 3 minutes of the game, where it seemed to be hit and miss with them. Then Jason Tatum led the Celtics scorers with 34. Brown paced them with 26, and I said that's a huge key. If the two of them can average, if the two of them can combine for 60 plus, I like the Celtics' chances of winning. But that's of course that of course is predicated on if others can score along with them. And Marcus Smart for most of the game did with 15. And you had Theos off the bench with 11. Al Horford, who drank from the fountain of youth in Milwaukee, at least offensively, except for a putback dunk midway. Oh, it's his name midway. But so like about 2 or 2.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Seemed to have left that fountain of youth drink in Milwaukee, because he did really have it in Boston. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. But it seemed as though Giannis made a point to say, yeah, you all thought he locked me down. Not on your life. This is actually, to me, the best game I've seen in the playoffs thus far. It eclipses game 1 of the Warriors Grizzlies series. Your thoughts?
It was a hell of a game. It was at one point, like, it was probably like 4 minutes left for our real, and Boston had a 4-point lead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Boston might just pull this off.
I was thinking the same.
And then the Bucks just started taking the boards and taking it to them. and a couple of blocks here, some real good defensive stops. And the but listen, we've said this all along. Giannis is going to do Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
They needed other people to step up, especially in Boston.
Yes.
Bobby Portis stepped up big time.
Boy, did they ever.
He
oh my gosh.
He controlled the boards. We would not have known that he was going to do this with the boards.
No.
We thought that we would have thought Boston would have had out rebounding because they didn't really have that presence. So he's played out of his mind yesterday.
He did.
What can I say? Holiday, that block was huge. That block was huge.
He came off of his man, slid behind Smart, and got all ball. That was so impressive. Then when he got possession of the ball, he had the presence of mind to throw it off of Smart. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that block.
That was a hell of a game.
Yeah, and
they exactly how we listen. Everything we've said,
it seems to come to pass.
Everything we said in every time we talk about any series, everything we've said has come to light. It's like we know. It's like we knew what was going to happen or something.
Yeah. Because we both said we know Budenholzer's the type that when he sees what the Bucks didn't do in one game, he will make adjustments. He'll make an adjustment and he'll throw something that you didn't see the game before in the following game. And more often than not, it'll be a win. Bobby Portis playing in the fourth quarter was that adjustment, and boy, was it a good one. And the Celtics did what they were supposed to do offensively. They put the pressure on the Bucks offensive role players to offense for the role players to produce. And yes, of course, he was buoyed by Giannis going for 40. No question about that. But like you said, the role players had to step up. Bobby Portis definitely did. Drew Holiday definitely did. And the others hit some key shots throughout the game.
Yeah.
But the last 3 minutes, it was Giannis getting a huge assist from Drew Holiday and Bobby Portis on both sides of the floor. Bobby Portis with the offensive rebounding and Drew with threes and blocking. And the very last play of the game, stealing the ball from Smart to end the game. Yeah. The Bucks, we people talked about the championship pedigree of the Warriors. The championship pedigree of the Bucks shone through last night right there. Oh my gosh. This is the best performance I've seen them have this year thus far. And that's not hyperbole.
They played a great all-around game. They played a great all-around game, except for the exception of the second quarter where where they got kind of stifled and Boston put some pressure with the D. But like you said, it was probably the best game overall as a team that they played yesterday.
That I loved how they were. They seemed to be engaged. I know it had something to do with probably the pressure of the moment. They wanted to come back, but they seemed to be engaged in the fourth quarter, and I didn't see that in the fourth quarter in Game 4. This is the Bucks team where I'd say, whomever I want to think that could win a championship, I don't think they could beat this team. Last night's performance makes me say that's the team
to beat.
To beat. Because if they could play like that last night, especially in the last 3 minutes of the game, the big showed up and showed out, and you had the key buckets come from somebody besides Giannis, and Giannis, of course, hit a key 3 to put them within 3 from 6 to actually start the comeback at the very end. And Portis was big, and Holiday was big. Sick. Good morning, brother. I hope everything.
Good morning, my brother,
man. And yes, brother, that game was really close. In fact, I had somebody say to me, "Man, this Celtics Bucks game, it almost feels like a not like a soap opera. It almost feels like a movie." And it somewhat did, because you almost had the narrative of, well, who is this Bobby Portis guy? Unless it's like the three of us, because I know Sick, you know who he is, and of course I know you know who he is, Wise, and I do. If it wasn't for people like us, people were like, well, who the heck is this number 9 for the Bucks? Who is he? Well, he proved he can be a beast on the boards, and that is exactly what the Bucks need. And more to the point, that's exactly what Giannis needs.
Yeah, and honestly, that's not what he's known for. He's not known for his rebounding.
That's shocking.
He's a 3-and-D guy.
Right.
He's not known for his rebounding.
Right.
Well, he can rebound. He can rebound. But the performance he put on yesterday with all the boards that he was snatching out of the sky.
Oh my gosh, man. I was like, oh, this is Rodman-esque. I'm like, my gosh.
He was just grabbing boards everywhere. I'm like,
where
the hell is Bobby Portis coming from?
Right. Yeah. And like you said, I've known him for hitting threes. I know him for being all the ball defender. But rebounding, especially on the offensive end, I didn't know he had that type of game in him. But man, kudos to him.
It came out.
It came out. And it came out at a time when the Bucks needed it the most. Man, that was good. Sick also said Drew Holiday's block on Marcus Smart was one thing, but the steal in the dying seconds was vital. Smart was left standing in disbelief. And what would make me, if I were to step in Marcus Smart's shoes at that moment, stand in disbelief along with him, Holiday was in the right position. He came from underneath, and he just poked the ball out of Smart's hands and did not even come close to drawing contact with him. I don't mean not even bodied him up. He just snuck in and just went, boop. It was a clean pick. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I was with Marcus Smart, and I'm not rooting for the Celtics. I'm not really for the Bucks either, but I was with them. I was like, whoa, God, you got your pocket clean, Marcus. Man. Yeah.
He got mugged, man.
Yeah. He got absolutely mugged. Drew was on one the last minute of that game. I will definitely say that.
He was on. Yeah, he was definitely on something, boy, because he came out and listen, like you said, he chipped in with 24 points, but the key play was that defensive block.
The defensive block, to me, when they were up 108, 107, and Smart looked as though he was about to go up for either a dunk or a soft layup push to where they would go on up 109, 107. And that rotation from Holiday, from his man to behind Smart's back, that was a thing of beauty. Sick also says this game came down to last minute mistakes. You can't make mistakes against the Bucks. Still, they took up the challenge when the Celtics took it to them. That's a really good point, Sick, because to me, and I think Shaq said it, and it was beautiful. It was beautifully put. He said the Celtics played great for 45 minutes. And he's right. They did. The Celtics, that was the best I think I've seen the Celtics play against the Bucks other than possibly game 2. But the 45 minutes was probably the best I've seen them play against the Bucks. And then the last 3 minutes, it was as if they forgot that they were playing against the defending champs for whatever reason. You know, because they made inexplicable passes that got stolen. They didn't rotate the ball like they were doing. They didn't, they didn't make the right type of plays in terms of having the execution that was smooth most of the game. And yeah, credit the Bucks, because I've always said if the Bucks can get into a half-court offensive set for you, those bigs will make it really difficult for you to execute. And it was as if Giannis, after that putback dunk by Horford, it was like he defensively took everything the Celtics were doing personally after that, and they said, okay, we're gonna make everything tough for you. And if I had to do it by myself, doggone it, I'll do it by myself. But of course, he didn't have to.
No, he did not.
He did not have to. But before I go off of them, off of this game, I have a quick prisoner of the moment. So I had a person who was on Facebook, and he said, quote, Giannis should be disappointed in Drew Holiday. He sucks. Giannis needs another point guard. Close quote. Now, mind you, the point guard in question is Drew Holiday. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 block and 2 steals. And Giannis needs another point guard.
Bitch, are you for real?
Yeah, it's sometimes it's people like that. Sometimes you just need to slap them. You just need a good slap. Like, yo, this dude won a championship with you last year. Okay, he hasn't had the greatest series, but he's a proven champion. Yeah. He is a champion.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to come and say that he needs a new point guard, that makes no sense to me, especially one that's won a championship with you last year.
Mm-hmm.
And who is one of the best defenders in the league as far as guards go.
Yep.
Who can on any night drop 30 points on you, give you this, give I'm saying, and still come out, give you 10 assists, 6 boards, 5. So for someone to say that he needs to find it just
right.
Some people sometimes you just gotta.
I'm like, you gotta be joking me. Okay, all right. I was like, I would get it if he was doing Mike Conley stuff, but I'm like, he contributes even in the losses. He's actually contributed quite well. I'm like, no, it's not that. It's not him. And yes, of course, they would be buoyed more if Chris Middleton was on in the game and playing and healthy. Yes, we both admit that.
We get that. Yes,
but Holiday, considering that Middleton is injured, is stepping up quite nicely, and I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a problem at all. 6 says the Celtics kind of panicked once the Bucks tied the game within the final 3 minutes. Actually, I think they started to panic when Giannis hit that 3 to put the Bucks within 3. I think that's when they started to have the noose tighten a little. K Peeps, what's up, brother? Another Eagles fan. Fly Eagles fly, sir. He says Giannis really made it personal. Good morning, fellas. Good morning to you, brother.
Good morning, K Peeps.
He says whoever said that about Drew Holiday still eats their cereal with baby Similac.
There's a shortage on that, so you're probably just drinking it with
you right about
powdered milk or something.
You right about that. And 6 says, oh no, somebody call this unfortunate soul's partner, lawyer, guidance counselor, therapist, pastor, etc. Premature assumptions. And when you hear these things, it's as if you want to ask them, what the heck are you watching? And not just that particular moment, but like, what are you watching? Because for you to have that type of take about Drew Holiday, you haven't followed this man's year, much less career. And I'm thinking, oh, he's one of the key pieces to the Bucks championship year last year, and he's a key piece to this team this year. I'm thinking, no. But see, that's what happens when people just seem to want to be prisoner of the moment. You all just have to stop. 6 says K Peeps, they should switch from soy milk to either rice or almond milk. Oh, I love it. I love the energy from you guys because I can't say you all are wrong. It's like I got to find a lie on that because I can't. Moving to the late game, people almost thought, and I didn't think that this was serious, would have been over in 5.
No,
but
we did.
Well, no, I didn't. No,
I honestly thought that they weren't going to show up. They made me eat my words. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
they definitely made me eat my words. I didn't think they were going to play like they did, but surprise, surprise.
Well, not only that, I still feel it's the Grizzlies we bounced, but I thought they would bounce back and show effort and play more desperate. And I would feel, and I would have felt that as though that would have brought them to a victory, considering that they would buoy themselves from how they played in most of Game 4 in San Francisco. I did not see what we saw last night. 134-95, that was the final score. The Grizzlies put forth a 39-point butt whooping And the game wasn't even that close. In fact, at one point, the Grizzlies led the Warriors by 55. So the Warriors were basically toast by the time we got to the middle of the second quarter. And then they waved the white flag in the third. And it's normally the opposite. Normally, the Warriors is the team in the third quarter that likes to put the pedal to the metal and say, okay, well, we think this game is over. We got your best shot. We saw it. We took it. Now it's time for us to show what we can do. And it's time for you to go bye-bye. Not this game. The situation was vastly reversed. You had Kuminga, who got some good time off the bench with 17. Almost led the Warriors in scoring with that. Curry had an off night with 14. Thompson had the high for 19. And off the bench, you had Moody for 10. You had Lee with 10. And Jordan Poole, who only had 3 points. That's not really what makes me go about him. It almost seems as though they may have an injury concern with him, because it looked like his wing got dinged, and he seemed to not play any better after that. But we'll know and we'll see soon. The Grizzlies, they were paced by Jaren Jackson Jr. with 21, with Jones at 21, and who was this? Who was this cat that I haven't seen in about a week and a half? Desmond Bane. He showed up 4-6 from 3, and he actually also ended the game with 21 points. So you had that. You had Dylan Brooks, who of course now is public enemy number 1 in San Francisco. He ended the game with 12. But they had 3 more people that scored double figures: Clark with 11, Melton with 10, and Williams with 11. They just simply, I've always said that the Warriors are death by 1,000 backdoor cuts.
Yes.
The Grizzlies literally beat the Warriors at their own game, because I kept seeing nothing but backdoor cuts and penetration buckets and penetration kicks. And I want your assessment on this. That game, the Grizzlies, and I got to give you kudos for this too. That game, the Grizzlies made the Warriors look like they're slow. And I'm not saying the Warriors are unathletic, but I'm saying the Grizzlies are just that athletic and they're that quick.
Yeah.
And they went back to what I remember this team being in the regular season, dominating other teams. That they would just simply crush you with one just execution, the likes of which you said, okay, this reminds me of the 2016 Warriors, other than a whole bunch of threes being launched. But the kudos I had to give to you is the Steven Adams point, where you said we didn't see him of the first 3 games of this series. And what did we say the Warriors' weakness would be?
Big man. That's what we said. And listen, I got to give the Grizzlies mad props, because I had it over yesterday. I had it done and over with yesterday, and they surprised me. And they shouldn't have surprised me, because they've been doing it all year.
Yeah,
they've played real well without Ja.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying they went that stretch of the season where they won a lot of games without him. So for me to say that they were going to lose without, they just shut me up. They showed me that, hey, they're a complete team. They are a team. Yes, Ja is their superstar, but they are a team.
I got something about that too.
And they're young, athletic, hungry.
Oh my gosh!
And they're Jackson Jr. We said he had to step up. We said he had to step up big.
When he's focused, that dude could make that team unstoppable,
because he's a big man that can shoot.
Yeah,
and take it to the hole.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't have surprised me, because they've been doing it all year.
Yeah,
they've been doing it all year.
Yeah,
and for them to do it now without Ja, and the way they did it.
Yes, the way they did it without Ja.
The way they did it, they put a spanking to them.
Yes.
I've never seen the Warriors get their butts whipped like that. Never.
This group of Warriors, I haven't. Yes, this group of Warriors, I've never seen it. I haven't seen it.
And like, listen, like you said, Desmond Bain finally showed up.
I was like, where did he come from? I'm like, man, he was persona non grata the first 4 games. I'm like, where was he? I mean, he was the man in the first series. He was a man in the Timberwolves series. I'm like, oh man, okay, well, yeah. Now, if he shows up, and if Jaren Jackson shows up with them, oh boy. Now, I still believe the Warriors will close it out. And to me, I believe that the series would end in San Francisco. I want to be proven wrong. I will say this right now. I want to be proven wrong.
I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for it to go 7 games.
Yes, I want this to go 7. I want to be proven wrong. And if the Grizzlies could play like this, I definitely want to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Because that was a wonderful performance by them.
It was excellent.
Oh gosh. 6 says, Wise, hopefully it's the powdered skim milk that does a number on your digestive system. It's not the powdered skim milk. You two are sick. KP says the Grizzlies are going to be a problem next year. You think? This is real proof here. And John Morant will definitely be a problem all by himself. And the thing is, K, he already is a problem all by himself. Already is now. Just imagine he's going to have a team that is more confident even when he's not on the court.
With playoff experience now.
Yeah, with playoff experience. And he's the type where he doesn't bog the rest of the team down, although people think otherwise. And I'll get to that in a second.
And that's the thing. He doesn't. Him being a superstar, you would think that he hogs the ball. The ball always has to be in his hand. It doesn't.
No, he
is a team player.
He wants to make the play. And if it means it's not him making the play, cool. And I'll get to that in a second. KP also says, everybody named Mama score for the Grizzlies. You ain't lying, bro. You telling the truth right there, man. 6 says the Grizzlies came to play. Seemed like the Grizzlies played the Warriors gameplay against them. Yeah. Stress the opposition's defense and backdoor cuts. And the thing was, and Wise said it about a couple weeks back. I didn't believe that the Grizzlies had that type of ability to shoot from 3. I just thought basically, okay, this is a backdoor cut team. They just beat you down with athleticism, and they just beat you down further with athleticism. And the big guys, if they do throw up a shot and brick, they'll get the offensive rebound. That's what the team I thought the Grizzlies were. But it looks like they have some good shooting too when they actually focus to shooting there. So, yeah, it looked like the Grizzlies played the Warriors game and beat them with it, and I mean beat them severely with it.
Beat them like a rented mule.
Yeah, beat them like a rented government mule. Ryan, good morning, man.
Good morning, Ryan.
And he says good morning to everyone and a happy Thursday to everybody. 6 says, K-Peeps and their daddies were grabbing those boards. Everybody named mamas was scoring and their dads were grabbing them boards. Yeah. K-Peeps says, let's also announce the Grizzlies played Miami Heat type defense as well. Thank you for that point. The athleticism on offense, and this is how they played in game 2 in the first round against the Timberwolves, where I remember saying that in game 1 of that series, I was like, the Grizzlies play defense as if they weren't communicating with each other. And they acted as though they didn't have the athleticism and the motor to keep going. In game 2 of that series, they said, well, we got the motor. And we play together. We play as a team. We play for one another. Last night was even a better example of that. And yes, and what K Peeps is actually alluding to, the Heat, I don't know how they do it, but they sell out and they can move almost as fast as the ball travels. And they will collapse on the shooter if they all collapse to the post as quickly as humanly possible. And it's not just one. It could be 2, sometimes 3 going to the shooter if it's kicked out. They move as fast, almost as fast as the ball, and they just will not allow you to make easy shots. They want to make you work for your points. And when you have a team that defensively plays like that, your offense is going to go through the roof, and it will generate offense. And that's just like what happened there too. Yeah. 6 says, "Good morning, Ryan. Happy Thursday to all of you as well, and you as well, I should say, Ryan." KP said, "Steven Adams is definitely a factor. Playing big and physical got all players on the Warriors team rattled, and it probably could continue to get them rattled. And I think in Game 4 they were rattled." Because I think they didn't know what they could do outside of, well, we can put Draymond on them. But besides that, because it could actually wear Draymond down if you do that. He said, "Good morning to you, Ryan from K Peeps." 6 says, "Everybody like and share the stream." Thank you, 6. I appreciate that. K Peeps said, "It was the second worst loss the Warriors have had since 2014 with Clay, Draymond, and Steph all playing the same game." Yeah, I was going to say it would have to be then, because I can't remember from 2015 when they started to win their championships with this crew that I've ever seen them play that bad of a game. And I mean on both ends of the floor, that bad of a game. So yeah, think of it at K-Peeps. 6 says, "Wise, you want to talk about a spanking belt whooping? This was like Pops Williams or John Witherspoon breaking out the belt on the Wayans brothers." Better yet, it's like Robin Harris in House Party at the end.
Yeah.
Every little step you don't take is around this bedroom. K Peeps. He said he had the Warriors trying all sides of defensive sets. 2-3, 1-2-2, 3-2. Thought it was a college game. Look, Mike Brown was trying to stop him at all costs, and it just wasn't working. And it just, to me, I'm not saying that the Warriors are slow, but the way the Grizzlies made the Warriors look like they're slow. And that was what shocked me the most. I'm like, they blowing right by the Warriors, blowing right by them, possession after possession.
We've said that to us, the Grizzlies are maybe the most athletic team in the playoffs.
No question,
the most athletic and young team is. Like I said, the oldest probably player is Steven Adams. The rest of that team is young.
Yeah. Good morning to you, Andrew. Yeah, they are. And oh yeah, and thank you for earlier actually mentioning this, because I have another. So for the individual that said that this team plays much better with Ja Morant and Ja Morant needs to go, and that on top of it, Ja Morant is going to be this generation's Derrick Rose, and not in terms of his prowess, but in terms of the fact that he's going to be injury prone and out the league and then coming back a shell of his former self. For that particular ridiculous take, I only have this to say.
Bitch, please.
Ja Morant, and Wise said it beautifully. Ja Morant is probably the most unselfish superstar we got in the NBA today when he's on the court. This guy is perfectly fit to be a point guard because the dude reads the room very well. If he sees his team is cooking, he's going to feed them. And he's going to continue to feed them. He's going to continue to feed them. But if he sees that his team needs a pick-me-up, he'll be the one to actually try to pick him up. And for that take of saying, well, this team plays better without Ja Morant, well, tell that to the same team in Game 4 where they had the lead late, but they were looking for that go-to guy, and their go-to guy's on the bench. This team still needs Ja Morant. Don't get it twisted. This team still needs him, and he plays like he needs them. And if you don't think that this bolsters a team full of really good players, full of staunch young offensive and some defensive too talent, if you don't think that bolsters their confidence, then you definitely are not watching the same game that we're watching, because they all play one another. They all play together, And with Ja Morant leading them, especially next year, now that they have this deep playoff experience that they've tasted now, it's not that the team plays better without Ja Morant, they just play differently. And Ja's the same type. Ja's the same type of guy where he'll sit in the bench, he'll see it, and he'll look at that, and he'd say, "Okay, let me see if I can emulate a little bit of that success when I'm not on the court, when I'm on it." And quite frankly, that adjustment is not that much, and that's not that far off.
Yep.
I swear, these people, man.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, and that's yet another prisoner of the moment. The ridiculousness is just they just trips me out. K Peep says, if the Grizzlies win, do you think that pressure makes Ja Morant play whether he's ready or not? I would say it would put the pressure on him to at least consider it. But they say that the bone bruise is so deep that he actually might not be considered to play for the playoffs in general. But yeah,
I would not risk it. He's still young.
I wouldn't either.
He has his whole future ahead of him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't either.
And look, they've shown they can play without him.
Yeah.
So why rush him back? Like, if he's not ready to play, then he's not ready to play. His teammates are gonna understand. It's not like he's soft or anything. It's not like he doesn't want to play. This man wants to be on the court. But if it's gonna jeopardize his career, no, stays. Listen, your teammates are gonna pick you up, and that's what it looks like. It looks like they're willing to pick him up, knowing that he's gonna be out. They showed up. They showed up yesterday. So
yeah. And I 100% agree with you. I think they should keep him out as long as necessary. And now they've already proven in a playoff game, to me, against the most hardened playoff team in terms of experience, that they could play without him and win. But in Ja's heart, in Morant's heart, K Peeps, I think that will be beating within him. I think that itch for him to want to be on the floor for a game 7. I mean, come on, it'd be one of the most important games Memphis has ever hosted. So yeah, definitely. I say one of them because I believe they actually went to a conference finals one time. But that'd be one of the most important games that Memphis has ever hosted. A game 7 there? Yeah, no question. But I think the Grizzlies should hold them out still, though. Andrew says that margin of victory was nuts. And what was more nuts, the margin of victory could have been greater. That's what makes it even crazier. Oh, my gosh. KP said, my God, who are these people saying this? You think they barely started watching basketball. Sounds just as terrible as Stephen A. Smith. And 6 says, good one, Cole. Robin Harris always told kid, keep your mind on them books, not them girls. Oh, I miss Robin Harris. And he also says, Ja Morant plays unselfish basketball. His game shows that he is the leader. Plus, Morant is better dressing than Ben Simmons on the sidelines.
Oh, man.
Damn!
Shots fired.
Bro, I can't find a line on that one either.
Shots fired, definitely.
KP says, Grizzlies have a really good record playing without Ja Morant. Yeah, I think it was 22-2, I think, before they got into the playoffs.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was some ridiculous good number like that, where people think, well, what's the point in having Ja Morant? Well, the point is the dude actually is their go-to player. And I don't care what team you're talking about, every team needs a go-to player. Every team needs to have the guy where the chips are down, even if they send 2, 3, or 4 guys at them, you have the confidence he will knock down those shots. Well, that guy is Ja Morant, and when he's off the court, every one of them is looking for that guy. And if you don't believe me, look at the end of game 4. That is proof right there.
Okay, so it was a 20-5 record.
20-5. Okay.
20-5 record.
Thank you for that. Appreciate you checking on that for me, Wise. 6 says, fair point, guys. There's a clear difference between playing hurt and playing injured. Yeah. Yeah. And it's a clear-cut case he's injured.
Injured, yeah.
And I would not want him to go back on the court. And that hurts me to say because that's the best talent in the league today. I want him out on the court.
He's one of the most exciting players to watch.
Yeah.
So of course, as a fan, I would love to see him on the court.
Mm-hmm.
But also as a fan, I want him to have a long career.
Yeah.
So if you have to hold him out, hold him out. Listen, sometimes you have to make sure these players don't hurt themselves.
Right.
Because
well said, bro.
I could understand.
Well said.
I could stand the fire he has him. I know he's a baller and he wants to be on that court with his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So, but sometimes you gotta listen. Be like, Ja, to protect you, you gotta stay. We're gonna hold you back. We can't jeopardize you. You have a bright future. This team has a bright future. That's just we're gonna have to deal with it, and just people are gonna have to step up, and that's what they did yesterday again.
Yeah, and could not say that better. Because I totally agree with you. Ryan says, bone bruises in the knee are no joke. I had one 15 years ago, and it constantly feels like you tweak something. And imagine somebody who uses his knees to propel and jump. That has to be a constant source of pain.
And that's part of his game is his ability to jump and do all those amazing things that he does. So if he's not gonna be the Ja Morant that we're used to seeing, then hold him back. Especially listen, it's a deep bone bruise.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ryan said, it's no joke. It is no joke.
Mm-mm.
So hold him back. Don't if he's not ready to play, then don't play him.
Don't play him. Yeah, no need at all. KP says, I'm not a Grizzly fan, but I'm a fan of Ja Morant and I want his jersey. I have been excited for a player since Westbrook. Still a Westbrook fan, even with last year's debacle. Now, other than, I won't say I'm a Westbrook detractor, but I've always thought that his game was lacking a few things.
A jump shot
for sure being one of them, and he still lacks it to this moment. Decision making to me is another, but I'm not a Grizzlies fan either. Although I live in a state where they play,
but they're making me a fan though. I'm not gonna lie. They are making me a fan. I'm same here. But I'm becoming one. I'm becoming a fan of that team, and I have been a Ja Morant supporter since he played at Murray State. So I've been a fan of that dude since I saw him play in college. So yes, and I'm glad he's proven himself to be the real deal in the NBA, and it's showing me that so what you did in college, you learned even more in the pros too. Oh yeah, we're gonna be in for some really exciting action with this dude. Yes, I'm a huge fan of his 2K. Huge fan of his, bro. Andrew says he should definitely sit out. Don't want to risk further injury or worse injury, and he's got a very bright future ahead. Yes, yeah. Why risk that? I'm with all of you on that. Why risk that? 6 says Desmond Bain and Tyus Jones were like, rest up and heal, Ja. We got this, fam. And I want and I'm sick. I would dap you right now, bro. Those two names you just mentioned, I want those two to say that to Ja every game they play. Those two. Because that means that they would have to step up and be the guys to take the Grizzlies where they are going to go. I want those two to say that to him. And you could probably even throw Jaren Jackson Jr. too. But definitely Bain and Jones, I'd want those two to say that to Ja. Rest up, bro. We got this. Yeah, definitely.
Andrew says, and the team has proved that they can win without him. This series ain't over. No, it's not over. It's not over.
Like I said, they made me eat my words. I'm sorry. They did. I thought it was over. They surprised me. they stepped up. And the funny thing was, I knew how they played during the regular season without him, and I knew they were capable of playing without him because they are a talented young team. But I like many people, I believe that the veteran leadership of the Warriors and the playoff experience of the Warriors, they would have went and sealed the deal yesterday.
I didn't feel they were going to do it then. It wasn't that I thought they were going to play like they did. My thought was the Grizzlies were going to play hungrier and they're going to play more desperate. And normally, especially with a team that athletic, that could get you a game. Now, what I didn't picture or even put or put into the equation was making the Warriors look slow, tired, old, in the same time that the Grizzlies are playing desperate. Because I would have thought the Warriors would have, they would have tried to put the foot on the gas for the first half, maybe the third quarter, and then the athleticism of the Grizzlies along with the crowd that would get them playing beyond themselves, and then they would just coast to a victory. Not saying it was going to be a blowout, but I figured that energy would give them a boost that the Warriors would not have. But what makes this statement even truer is the put the Warriors on notice. I think they actually said to him, and I think the Warriors got it. This is not a cakewalk. Don't think that you're going to be. Don't think you can look ahead and you seen you're going to play the Suns. Don't do it. Don't do it, because if you do, your off season is going to start very soon. Because you're going to have that 3-1 series lead, and you're going to be looking like Doc Rivers 3 times in his playoff career as a coach. Listen, we had the series, but we blew it. Yeah, that's where they are, and
I think this victory here might have boosted their confidence way up there now. Like they're like, listen, look what we just did to them,
right?
At home. Yeah. If we go take this one in San Francisco and bring this back home, it might be a problem.
And I really believe they almost had that confidence begin while in San Francisco, because game 4, that game was theirs.
Yeah.
That game was theirs, but that lack of experience that they had, matched with what you just said about why you thought they was going to close out the Grizzlies in game 5, the abundance of experience the Warriors had gave the Warriors 39 points in the fourth quarter, made the Grizzlies bumble and stumble through the rest of that game, and then Curry down the stretch just said, okay, well, we almost here. I'll just take you over the mountain because we got this team.
And the thing is, that's 2 games that they've played bad. Because game 4, they wanted to give that game away. The Grizzlies just didn't take it.
Right.
But they wanted to give that game away.
They wanted to give game 4 away. Yeah.
And so that's already 2 games now, back to back, that the Warriors have played bad.
Yeah.
And not that they've played, like game 4, they didn't play. It wasn't the Warriors that won that game.
No, it was, to me, yes. It was the
Grizzlies that lost that game.
I agree. It was the Grizzlies that lost it. Yes.
So that's already 2 games. And that's, like, they did it in San Francisco. That's what I'm saying. They did it in San Francisco. They showed that first bad game was in San Francisco. That game 4.
Yep. And that is why I say we might see that game 7. We might, because the Warriors did not play well in their last home game, and they played terrible last night. Oh, and then, by the way, we are 1 missed Ja Morant layup from it being the opposite, being 3-2 Grizzlies. So, this isn't the well, the Warriors have this in hand type of thing. They should have this in hand. They should close them out, and I think they play tomorrow night. They should close them out. Now, will they?
That's a different question.
That's a different question, and there'll be a different answer. And the way they've been playing, Makes me think I don't think they will either. K Peep says Bane finally stepped up. The real shocker was Brooks kicking in finally yesterday and making plays offensively. Yes, him on the offensive end being that difference maker, I think that helped that offense out too. I agree with you. Totally agree with you, K Peeps. 6 says, let's not forget Steven Adams did his part on the boards. All 6'11", 265 of them. He was that big man the Grizzlies, along with Kyle Anderson and Brandon Clark, need. Let me talk about Steven Adams real quick. Oh, and Jaren Jackson Jr. as well. Well, let me talk about Steven Adams. He's the type of big guy you don't even have to. The Suns have to feed DeAndre Ayton because if they don't, he will check out of a game. Steven Adams is a type you don't even have to feed him offensively.
No.
All you have to do is just say, big fella, get the defensive boards, get a couple offensive boards, do a couple of putbacks, but just hold the big man at bay, and if you can, intimidate the little guys from going into the hole. Make them think twice about penetration. Just his presence alone has made the Warriors think twice about the shot selection. And it is not a coincidence. They were shooting lights out in game 2, talking about game 1, talking about the
Warriors.
The Warriors. They shot lights out in game 3, and they didn't shoot badly in game 2. They just simply were outplayed by John Morant, basically. It's not a coincidence that in games 4 and 5, the Warriors offense doesn't look like itself. That is all due to the presence of Steven Adams and reminding the other bigs that the Grizzlies have. Wait a minute. We have a decided advantage over the Warriors. I think we need to use it.
And that was my thing, was like, why aren't they using him?
Yeah.
Like the first 3 games, he didn't smell the court.
Yes.
And I didn't understand that. I was like, yo, you have that advantage. Why not use it?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the coach realized that, hey, listen, we need to have Steven Adams on the court.
Yeah.
And since then it's been different, man. It's been a different game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. KP says, or flip side, Warriors didn't play bad. Grizzlies defense played like some monsters that collectively stepped up. True.
Yes.
True. They did. I'm not going to front. The Grizzlies, when they want to defensively play, they are a beast of a team. And I love it when they play defense the way they did last night. And they have the capability of doing that every night.
Yes.
For some reason, they just seem to take nights off defensively. I don't understand why, but they do. But yes, I agree. They do have some good defensive players. When they want to invest on that end of the court, they play like beasts and monsters. I agree with you, bro. And he says, and tell Adams to set some hard picks every now and then and make them work hard for rebounds. No question. No question. I think that's what helped. That would help Desmond Bane, I believe. Because I think he needs to have good looks.
Yeah.
Because he keeps shooting tough shots. Thank you, BS3 Network, as we are live right now on BS3 Network on Roku. We appreciate you, Ben, Irene, Ben, Ivan, and the crew. We appreciate you. Sam, we appreciate you too, sir.
What up,
Shady
Sam?
Sports Network. Good morning to you as well. Andrew says, good morning to you, Shady. And Trisha, good morning to you, ma'am. It is a pleasure to have you aboard.
Good morning, Trisha. Thanks for following me on Instagram as well.
You are some wonderful people, I'll tell you. All of you. KP says, Steven Adams is a real blue-collar center. Man, I miss him playing with Westbrook. And I think
Westbrook missed playing with him.
The opposite is, I was going to say, I think the opposite is even more true. I think Westbrook is missing that presence in the Steven Adams because Anthony Davis is not cutting it for him in that regard. 6 says, K-Peeps, it was more like the Monstars from the original Space Jam. Thank you for saying that, and not Space Jam 2. I appreciate you.
I still haven't seen the second one.
I haven't either, and I don't want to. Oh, Lord. Oh, good Lord. I had to have that. I had to say that. That was so funny. So tip off for the Celtics Bucks in Milwaukee. That will be tomorrow night. at 7:30 Eastern. The tip-off for the Grizzlies and Warriors in San Francisco will also be tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. And that will be game 6 of both. Now, quickly going to game 6 of the 2 matchups we're going to see tonight. Tip off at 7 p.m. The 76ers host the Heat. Tip off at 9:30 p.m. The Mavericks host the Suns. I can actually say this, and I think you can say this too, Wise, because we've been saying this for these 2 matchups. Almost say the exact same thing with both of them. The Sixers and the Mavericks are at home. The role players will show up because that's how they always do. The only question we have to ask is, will the Heat and the Suns, respectively, act as though this is their game 7 and take both of the opponents they have out of their misery on the road? That's really the only question to me that I have to ask.
I can see. I can actually see Miami doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Miami doing it because, especially with what's recently going on with, especially with Embiid, the little comments he made the other day about, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Embiid.
But again, it's gonna fall on the role players. They're gonna have to step, and they have been cooking at home. They've been cooking. It seems like they've been cooking at home. But again, okay, so say they do win this and tie the series. You still got to go to Phoenix and Miami, and y'all proven that y'all can't play there for some reason.
Yep. 0-6 combined. 0-6 combined.
And then Phoenix wins. Chris Paul had a real bad game. He didn't have a real good game, and they still won because Devin Booker,
he showed up.
We've preached. We've said he is the MVP. He is the man on this team,
without question.
And I just feel that he's going to show up again. And he's going to put Embiid out of his misery because, I'm sorry, but Doc will be losing his job after the series.
I've been feeling that energy ever since Harden became a member of the 76ers.
Yeah, as much as I would hate for someone to lose their job,
I don't want him either to lose his job. But I've been feeling that energy ever since then.
Yeah, ever since Harden came over to the Sixers. Yeah.
I'll say the only way that would be saved is if he brings the Sixers a championship. Outside of that, I'm thinking he's gone. Yeah. He's as good as gone, and that's unfair to him. But I really believe that's how it's going to be. Six says, "Good morning, Aunt Tricia." BS3 Network says this definitely could be talking about the series of the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Could be 3-2 Grizzlies. I agree. Andrew says, "Hey, Aunt Tricia, hope everyone's doing great in the chat." And I echo those same sentiments. I hope everyone's doing well in the chat as well. BS3 Network says, "I love Steven Adams' play." I do too.
So do I.
I do too.
That's why I didn't understand why he wasn't playing.
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm with Wise. I didn't understand it either. Says good morning to you, the BS3. And Tricia believes the Suns will take the Mavs and put them out of their misery in Dallas tonight. I can't say anything antithetical to that, for the exception of if Chris Paul has the same game in Game 6 as he did in Game 4. Outside of that, the way Devin Booker's been playing, because it doesn't matter where he's playing, you just give him a ball and a ball of court and some hoops, he's good to go. Yeah, because the dude is scoring at least 30. In this series, he has scored at least 30. So yes, the possibility to me is strong there, no question. BS3 says Sig Diggy. KP says Suns close it out and Miami closes out. You know, I think I'm leaning toward that, man. And I say that because to me, I'm thinking the Suns and the Heat are smelling blood in water. I really believe that.
I think they are too.
Yeah. I really believe that. I believe both teams are smelling blood in the water, and I think both teams want to end their series. And I think both of them are having an eye toward the other conference semifinal And I think that both teams, both the Heat and the Suns, are saying, it's a possibility this other semifinal in our conference might go 7. Let's end this now and get some extra rest. After all, we're going to host the conference finals anyway. Let's make this early. Let's not put extra work on us. I really believe that's what both teams are feeling. And Tricia says Booker is fire. Ma'am, you ain't said nothing but a word, because Devin Booker. Ooh. And I'm so glad that the tweak to his hamstring when he put up 31 in the first half against the Pelicans, and he actually had to go out in game 2 of that series. I'm so glad that it did not hamper him when he came back, because he looks even more focused now than he did before that injury. I'm like, man, you playing as if you took last year and what happened to your team personal. I love that.
I think he did.
I love that, because it's a better player and a more focused player.
No, I think he really did take last year's loss to heart. He took it real personal. He probably felt like we should have won that.
Yeah, and I believe they should have too. But to me, I'm thinking Booker is now starting to smell that finish line. He's like, you suckers are not going to to stop my show if I'm going to have to drag you all to do it. If I had to put another one of those 70-point performances to do it, doggone, I'm going to do it, but we're going to win this chip. That's the energy I'm feeling with Devin Booker. So, yes, I'm 100% with you, Aunt Tricia. Dude is fire. Dude is absolute fire. B History Network says, will the Mavs others show up is the question. Home court would help. And that's been the one thing that both Wise and I have said. They're willing to show up at home, especially the Mavericks. They've been willing to show up at home. But they've been willing to be the same type of participants as the others who were out in Phoenix when the Suns and the Mavs play there. It's as if they are audience members in Phoenix, but they actually are basketball players in Dallas.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how that is. 6 says, Wise, who's going to be interrogated by Bill Duke after this series? Doc Rivers or James Harden?
I would say James Harden. But hey,
you know you effed up, right?
Yeah.
You know you effed up, right? Oh my gosh. 6 says, you know you done messed up, right? You know that, right? You know you done messed up, right? Yeah. Shady Sports Network says, I'm all hyped today. Defensive back Quantez Stiggers joins me for an interview tonight. 5 interceptions for 1 fumble recovery, 2 touchdowns in 4 games in the fan-controlled football league. And if you all do not know who Sam of Shady Sports Network is, I advise you, if you want to know football and you want to be up on it, go to that YouTube channel, Shady Sports Network. Them dudes put it down. And they put it on serious when it comes to football. I appreciate what they do. KP says, is Devin Booker our present day Black Mamba? Funny you asked that.
Because Black Mamba anointed him himself. If anyone was Kobe-esque, it would be Devin Booker. And Kobe pointed it out himself. Kobe is the one who said he's the one who said Devin Booker is that man, is that guy.
He's that guy. Yep. He said that.
Yeah.
So from above, Kobe is looking for a chip for Devin Booker to win. So yeah, the answer is I think he might be a present-day Black Mamba. Hype video on YouTube or Facebook now. Yes.
I'll go check it out after the show.
Definitely got to check that out after the show. And Tricia says, Booker has that dog in him I like to see. And Tricia. Yeah. That's what I love from Devin Booker. I'm loving the fact he don't give excuses. He doesn't blame other people for stuff. That's what really endeared me to Devin Booker after I saw last year's finals where he didn't point the finger at anybody. It's like, well,
and Trisha, if I wasn't married, I would ask you to marry me because you are.
I'm saying
you know sports, woman. You know your sports.
She knows it well. Yes. And if I wasn't married, yes. because I would love to have conversations with you because I feel like I'd be learning something.
Hell yeah.
KP says both Doc and Harden will be interrogated. Yeah, I think so. And unfortunately, I think it'll be Daryl Morey who does it, and I don't want him to do it. Shady says, you're the man, Cole. You're going to make me blush. Well, I'm just telling the truth. And Tristan says, well, I am divorced.
We're not laughing because you're divorced, but
no. Not laughing at that at all. Not laughing at that at all. Oh, man. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to step aside, but we're going to take a break. My man is going to carry us the rest of the way, Mr. Wise El Jefe.
Yes, I will try my best to fill your shoes.
And look, if and look, on Friday we're gonna have Sam of Shady Sports Network. We're gonna have Ben of the BS3 Network, and we're of course going to enter the Boom Shakalaka. That's how we're going to do it Friday. But the rest of the way Thursday, it's going to be my man Wise taking you home. But we're going to take a break though, and there might be some thoughts, some meanderings that's in the mind of Wise. What would they be? Well, I guess you have to come back and find out.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
You're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go, babe. I'm never gonna let you go. No, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, Podemos hacerlo. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
All right, so we're back. Well, I'm back. Cole had to step away, but I'm excited for my chance to do this. So today is a big day. Today the NFL releases its schedule. So anybody excited? Who's excited? I know Sam out there is excited about that happening. Because I'm excited. I heard Dallas is going Lambeau. That's gonna be excited. Ben, I know what's your thoughts on that? With McCarthy going back to Lambeau Field this year. And let's see what else is going on today. Today, I'm excited because last night my Rangers pulled out the victory, man. I thought they were going to get eliminated in 5. So now they forced a game 6 with the Pittsburgh Penguins, man. I thought they were going to get handled again, which they have the last few days getting their butt whipped. The last few games getting their butts whipped by the Penguins. But Crosby took a big hit, so we'll see. All right, and Snowman wanted to share all his love for you guys, for the interactions y'all been doing out there. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate the support. And yes, football. It is. It's like I love football. I could talk football 24/7 or 365 days or years, but I'm really excited. I want to see what the schedule is going to be like this year. I'm excited for what my Giants are going to do this year. They're not going to be the best team in the NFC East. I got to give Sam some credit and K Peeps and Cool. Their Eagles are looking really tough this year, and I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to see what the schedule looks like. What else is going on out there, people? Me. Oh man, this is weird not having Cole here with me. I don't know what to do. But hey, I have to learn sometime, right? What else is going on? Oh man. Let's see what's Sam. Yeah, I know, man. I wish somebody would have joined me. But it's cool, man. It's cool. I gotta do this myself. Yes, Andrew. Yes, definitely excited. This season is gonna be a very interesting season. It's like, especially with the way the AFC is stacked, man. Like the AFC is the division with all these great quarterbacks. It's like it reminds me of the NFC in the 80s and 90s when they just had those dominant teams. The AFC looks like they're going to be that dominant conference this year, man, with all those quarterbacks in that conference. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Also, what's going on, man? Oh, big surprise in MLB baseball. The Anaheim Angels. Giants will probably play like usual. Yeah. The Cowboys. Yeah, listen, I'm excited. Let's see. Let's not forget which teams gets the weekly bye when that week is off is crucial at certain times. Yeah. Listen, the bye week is big, man. You actually make adjustments to your team, especially if you're a struggling team. You make whatever adjustments you can on that bye week. But again, this year football is going to be very exciting because yes, you have the defending champions, the Rams, but there's not really a clear-cut favorite to win it all. There's so many teams have improved this offseason. Like the Dolphins have made some great moves. I'm not saying they're the best in the division, but they've made some great moves. Okay, I can toss you questions. Do you play fantasy football? Of course I play fantasy football. I'm in a keeper league. I actually have Josh Allen, King Henry, and Deebo Samuels as my 3 keepers. So I'm excited about that. And I actually have an offer to get Devontae Adams. So we'll see. Snowman, Andrew, hopes you're doing great. Okay, what else? Oh man. So yeah, my fantasy football. I've been in the same fantasy football league for about 10 years now. I haven't sniffed the championship yet because it seems like when I start going well, I get hit with a bunch of injuries on my fantasy football team, and I start going downhill. And then at the end of the season, when my players come back, I start picking it up again, and I just don't make the playoffs. So yes. If so, who are your top 5 fantasy running backs and kickers? Oh, running backs is hard, man. You got to, of course, go with King Henry. He's one of my top running backs. I can't even really think of running backs like that because there's so many productive running backs. Is of course you got to give Christian McCaffrey his due. I don't know what's going. Ben, you probably know what's going on with your boy Zeke. He's ever since he's gotten that contract, he's just not been the same beast that he was. But yeah, running backs, man, it's like every year top 5 changes because you get a bunch of new rookie running backs that come in that are exciting, like Bryce Hall and for the Jets. And so I can't even think of 5 running backs right now. At least 5 top running backs. Oh, my first round pick for Devontae Adams. I picked like probably 3rd or 4th or something like that. Kickers. Oh man. Kicker. I don't know. You know, when it comes to fantasy football, man, like you when your kicker guys a bye week, you end up kicking them off anyway and getting a different one. So I really don't go for. I don't really. I wait for later on to get my kicker, so I don't really care who's the top 5. Because yeah, every week some other kicker's having a great game. So, but yeah, running backs is definitely. Oh man, for some reason I've got like a brain fart and can't think of running backs at the moment. Okay, dang, that's a solid roster for sure. Devontae Adams. When selecting wide receivers, do you add value for rushing attempts? Oh man, not in this league. Yes, but because you're talking about Debo and all his stats. Yeah, yes, we had the rushing attempts. We had his rushing yards and attempts as well. So yes, so it's good to have a Debo Samuels on your team. Yes. But the question is he going to be in the 49ers uniform next year? That's going to be key. And he wants to get paid the big money. He doesn't want to get paid running back money. He wants to get paid all that receiver money that they're throwing out there. Which I don't blame him, man. He's worth every single penny. Yeah. So, but oh man. And it's actually I'm sure Cole is excited because his Astros have just won 8 in a row. Nobody thought they would be that good. No one expected them to be the way they're playing. So I'm sure he's excited about that. But the only problem is they're playing in the same division as the Los Angeles Angels, and for some reason the Angels are actually playing pretty good baseball. Shohei Ohtani is back pitching and batting. So it's exciting. Yes, Dalvin Cook, Kamara, but Kamara stays hurt. He's for some reason. Austin Eckler from Chargers, yes. Chris Carson for Seattle, exactly. If he's healthy, he has to remain healthy. He's frequently injured. Saquon Barkley, if he can remain healthy and with the line that the Giants are building, maybe he has a bounce back season. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, your boy Miles Sanders. I like Miles Sanders, man. He's a solid running back. Listen, there's so many great running backs out there, and so even this year with some of the rookies that are coming in, there it's exciting. The rookie quarter running back Buffalo added more weapons for Josh Allen. So it's going to be extremely exciting when it comes to football this year. I am so excited. Yes, Tucker. Yes, I'm Tucker, McPherson, Elliott, McManus. Yeah, Tucker. But again, like when it comes to kickers, I wait till later on. I probably wait till after I've done with the draft and just pick up whatever free agent kickers out there. So I'm not. That's not one of my main concerns. My main concerns is really drafting enough receivers and running backs so that when I deal with injuries. But yeah, fantasy football, man, I'm so excited. Listen, football is gonna be exciting this year. I'm really excited. Oh, the Colin Kaepernick situation. Listen, when someone like Fitzmagic can continue to get the job, and there's nothing against Fitzpatrick, he's a quality quarterback. It's a shame, man. I feel Kaepernick, when he was playing, he played well. He did what he was supposed to do. It's just the whole situation with the kneeling. But I would love to see him back in the NFL. Maybe Seattle. Seattle's been taught. That's been a rumor for years about him going to Seattle. Who knows if that's what they want to do though? Because do they really have faith in Drew Lock like that? I know I don't. He didn't show me anything in Denver, so why should it be any different in Seattle? Yes, Cano is definitely a top 5. I agree with you on that. What else? Listen, I'm curious to know how each team's defense is going to play this season. Which tackles, linebackers, cornerbacks are going to shine. Let's see. Honestly, that Jets defense is looking really nasty to me, man. The players that they drafted with Carl Lawson coming back, because he last year before he got hurt, he was looking like a monster. So that Jets D is going to surprise a lot of people this year. They listen, the 2 guys that they drafted, Jermaine Johnson and Michael Clemens, those were 2 big pickups. And what they're saying about Michael Clemens during the rookie training camp is the mini training camp for rookies is that he's nasty. He goes to a dark place, quoting Coach Robert Saleh. So that Jets defense is definitely going to be good. I'm excited to see them. But where they're weak at is definitely in the safety position. But the cornerbacks, they're deep at cornerback. Their linebackers led by Mosley. So the Jets are going to be a big surprise for so many teams. Of course, the defending champs have Aaron Donald. So anytime you have Aaron Donald on your team, your defense is definitely going to be one of the best. And Jalen Ramsey. I think Buffalo did a great job bringing Von Miller in. That's a championship pedigree to help their team. So definitely excited. Listen, football is going to be exciting. Well, Ryan, they're supposed to be. They haven't let. Well, Larry Agunjabi has been at in New Jersey for a couple of days now. So let's see if they can if they sign him. And there's been rumors that they're talking to Quan Alexander as well. So we see where that go. Yeah, yep. Ben, I agree with you. Zeke has been a disappointing in fantasy and real life. It's like once he came back from Mexico after that big contract, he's just been not showing up. definitely not showing up. Andrew Shady, Sam agrees with you about, that's definitely true. Kyle Pitts with Atlanta QB. I don't think you go from Matty Ice to Marcus Mariota. I don't know. I actually had Kyle Pitts on my fantasy football team, and I traded him to get Debo. So I'm excited. Listen, Atlanta's got. If Mariota can live up to his potential, being a first round pick, then Atlanta has a shot. But I don't see them being too good. I see the cream of that crop of that division is going to be New Orleans and Tampa Bay. So we'll see about that. Where does Baker Mayfield end up? If I'm the Browns, I don't cut him. I don't release him because you don't know what's the situation with Deshaun Watson. You don't know if the NFL is going to suspend him. You don't know how many games the NFL is going to suspend him for. So listen, you have him under contract. I would keep him. Definitely would definitely keep him. I'm not. I wouldn't trade him or release him yet because again, you don't know the situation. Unless you really want to get rid of the headache and not deal with him, then yeah, release him. But if they do release him, he's got a couple of options, man. Seattle might be a place. You still have even my Giants, as much as this would not. They didn't sign Daniel Jones to his 5th-year option. They declined it. So who knows? He can. There's a few teams out there that can use a starting quarterback. And listen, he's proven he can play in here. They play in the NFL. So, me personally, I wouldn't cut him yet because, again, I don't know the situation with Deshaun Watson. I don't know how many games the NFL are going to release him, so suspend him for. So we don't know. Yeah, like I said, Quan Alexander, they definitely, those are two pieces that if they sign them, that defense is going to be really nasty. Yeah, he was your best offensive player last season. Definitely. Zeke is on some other stuff that no one is talking about. I think he's had some injuries and self-medicating. It could be. But then you know what? The other running back is good. He's been carrying the load. So maybe it might be time to move on from Zeke. Who knows? Okay, looks like Zeke needs a good old talking to from Bill. Yeah, Bill Duke is the answer to everything, huh, Sick? Even though he is the man. He is definitely the man, Bill Duke. I'm excited to see the competition between Ritter and Mariota, two mobile quarterbacks. Arthur Smith wants to keep defense guessing whether it's Pitts, Patterson, or now moving to running. Or now, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot they got them in Mariota. So, yeah, that listen, but I think it's Mariota's job to lose. Yeah, I really do think it's his job to lose. And I think he's going to do a pretty good job. He's going to do a solid job. Who else is out? I like what Tennessee did. I like Tennessee drafting Willis. That was a big pickup for them. I think because it gives you that chance to have Tannehill for a couple of years and have Willis learn under him. Even though Tannehill did say he's not there to help. Who does that? Like, listen, I understand he's there to compete with you. I understand that, but you listen. You don't. He's a young quarterback. You just take him under your wing. Be a professional. Zeke is a prime example. Was you don't sign running backs? Yeah. Listen. Usually, running backs don't last to a second contract. By the time they get to the second contract, they're done. they gave him that second contract, and it wasn't because of injury that he's done. It's just because I don't know, he just stopped putting into work. He put it. It looks like he packed on a few extra pounds that he don't need. But yeah, usually the running backs don't last to a second contract, or if they do sign a second contract, they basically don't live out that second contract. So we'll see. We'll see. Eventually, they're gonna have to make a decision because they're not gonna be able to pay both running backs. Will Cam Newton end up on a team? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's. First of all, he didn't show me anything. He didn't show that he's still a capable quarterback. He when he was in New England, he didn't really do anything special, and when he went back to Carolina, he sucked it up. So I don't think so. I don't see him with enough. I don't see any teams looking to give him the opportunity. I think he's done. He needs to go focus on whatever he's doing, getting himself a baddie or something. I don't know. Keep going on podcasts and talking about women. Let's see what else. And okay, see, they add in Trisha. If Zeke's self-medicating, then he needs an intervention, depending on how he's supposedly self-medicating. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I don't know what's going on, man. Once he got that contract extension, it's just been downhill. He has not produced, and he's had the same offensive line. So it's not because it's not like that. He doesn't have that offensive line to open the holes for him. It just seems like he's lost a step and he can't hit those holes like he did prior. All right, agreed. I like Mariota. Wanted him in Philly with Chip Kelly. Ooh, I think you probably yeah, that Chip Kelly experiment did not work out well for Philly, did it? But I like the coach I got now, man. He's really exciting. I like he's a good coach. That Chip Kelly experiment was a disaster for Philly. I didn't like that Chip Kelly experiment because I didn't see his system working in the NFL. That spread offense that he was running was not. I didn't like it. It didn't fit the NFL, and it might work in college, but it didn't work in the NFL in both stops. It didn't work here in Philly, and it didn't work in San Francisco when he went to San Francisco. So, but yeah, Mariota is listen. He's still young. He has potential. Maybe he can resurrect his career in Atlanta. We'll see. But again, this is going to be an exciting year, man. A lot of teams may have improved, and a lot of teams got a lot to show, and I'm just excited. Like that AFC West is loaded. They're gonna beat each other up in that division, so that's gonna be some heck of a football game. Like each one has almost an elite quarterback, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Across the NFC East, it's to me it's a toss up. It's between Dallas and Philly. As much as I would like to put my team into that, I'm a realist. I understand that my team are not that good at the moment, but hey, never know. But their battles with painkillers and such. Oh man, that's a good question, man. I don't think a lot of them do, and I wish a lot of them would talk about it, especially with all the things that are going on with all these great players that have been abusing these painkillers and stuff. So that would be a good question. That'd actually be a good show to have, is to have some players come and talk about their battles with painkillers, because I know when growing up and watching football, I'm sure a lot of these players played hurt and was taking medication like crazy, taking all these pills and all that. So that would be an interesting show. I definitely would love to sit down with a few players and have them tell their stories about dealing with painkillers and all these other stuff. But yeah, sick. That would definitely be a dope show to have, man, because it would be a real in-depth look into how the NFL is combating such things now. And so, yeah, I would definitely would love to reach out to some former players who've had issues with with painkillers and self-medication and all this stuff. Yes, but guys, man, I appreciate y'all helping me out here. This has been great. I love this. You guys have getting me through this. I appreciate it so much. Giants have had a hell of a draft. Yes, they did. They did. I'm excited with their picks. I'm excited with having Neil. Definitely Thibodeau's. I'm excited about that. I actually like the tight end that they drafted as well. So it's gonna be. Listen, they've improved. They've improved. We'll see. Again, it's to me, it's if that offensive line can gel and Saquon is healthy and Daniel Jones can actually not fumble the football, because his issue has been fumbling. It hasn't been throwing picks. It's been he can't hold on to the ball. So if he can hold on to the ball, I believe he's very athletic. He has an arm. And now with a head coach that has a system that I think fits him well, especially having Josh. I'm not saying that Daniel Jones is Josh Allen, but he has similar capabilities. So I feel that this head coach is the coach that he needed, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what they're doing, because the picks they did make are I'm happy with. Maybe with the exception of the receiver in the second round, but listen, that receiver fits what they're trying to do. So definitely excited. I would definitely love to see them make the playoffs, but like I said, I'm a realist. We're gonna see how it's gonna go. All right, what else is out there? Oh man, let's see. What else is going on? Yeah, ESPN. But yeah, it's playoff hockey, playoff basketball. It's a great time right now this season, man. This is definitely a best time. Sick. I've listened to a few podcasts where professional wrestlers have been open about their battles with painkillers, so this would be great to hear from our left. Oh man, wrestlers are so many wrestlers have lost the battle to drugs and stuff like that, and it's been crazy, man. Like, rest in peace to Scott Hoare. The issues he had with alcoholism and drugs and stuff like that. Listen, these performers put their lives on the line when they perform and play sports and listen, they put their bodies through a lot. And so it's just sad that it takes something bad to happen for people to really start making change. But listen, wrestlers, how many wrestlers have we heard about overdosing, dying in a hotel room from drug overdose or whatever? It's when the WWE started their wellness policy, it was a joke to me. It was definitely a joke. Who do I think starts at QB for the Steelers? That's a good question. Definitely a good question. I like Pickett. He's good, but to me, it's Mitch Trubisky's job to lose. Listen, Mitch Trubisky was not a bad quarterback in Chicago. His numbers are pretty good. He's more passes than interceptions. It's just his supporting cast was garbage. He didn't have a running game. He didn't have offensive line. Yeah, he had Allen Robinson, but to me, they focused more on their defense than anything else. Their offense was not good at all. So I think he got the short end of the stick on that. But I definitely think it will be Mitchell Trubisky. To me, he's a quality quarterback. He might not be an elite quarterback, but to me, he's an NFL starter. And so I feel it's his job to lose, because we already saw what Mason Rudolph could do, and that's absolutely nothing. So between Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, that I would definitely go with Trubisky on that one. Even though Kenny Pickett is coming from a similar pro offense, whatever, and he's been a 4-year starter, I think. But yeah, I like Mitch Trubisky. I think Mike Tomlin can really turn him around. I actually think that whole organization can turn him around and make him into a really good quarterback in the NFL. Like I said, he had a pretty solid career in Chicago. It's just that his supporting cast was not that good. To me, at least in my opinion, his surrounding cast was not that good. So I really think it will be Mitch Trubisky. Oh, you're welcome, Sam. I listen, I appreciate you guys helping me through this. Like, I didn't know I was going to close out the show till like a little bit till I got into it, but I'm excited, man. This is me learning on the fly. I'm not a professional media guy. Let's put that out there. I just love to do this. I love sports. I love talking sports. So it comes easy to me. But I definitely want to stop by and talk to you. Talk sports with you, Sam. Same thing with Sick, and definitely with Cool. And anytime you guys want to stop by and talk sports, man, hit me up. I definitely would love to talk sports. Or if any of y'all want to ever come on because on my podcast, it's not a sports podcast. It's more about mental health and self-development and social issues and entrepreneurship. But anytime I get to talk sports, it's a great thing. So any of you guys want to come on and just come talk sports on my podcast, let me know, and we can definitely set something up, because I love doing this. It's talking sports, wrestling, entertainment, music. I'm a chameleon. I love this so much, man. It's just being able to do something that you love is a blessing. And so being able to talk sports, I'm really grateful for Brian for bringing me on and allowing me this opportunity to share whatever knowledge about sports that I have with you guys. And you guys are amazing. You guys are very supportive. You guys are interactive. This has been great. I've had nothing but a great experience doing this. And this actually helped me gain confidence in doing a live show. So, because my show is pre-recorded. And so being able to do this live and on air has helped me boost my confidence and boost me up. So I greatly appreciate you guys. I greatly appreciate the support you guys are giving. This is awesome. I love it, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's do a show, me, you, and Cool. Oh, definitely. We definitely got to sit down and talk some football, man. I would love it. I would definitely love it. Thank you, Aunt Tricia. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate all you guys are doing for me and helping me out through this. This is dope. It's definitely dope. Yes, it is, man. And anytime I get to get out of so usually I work from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m., but I've been leaving work early the last few days. So I've been able to come and do the show. And I love it. I love when I'm able to leave work and come do this, because this is what I love doing. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. Greatly do appreciate it, man. Yeah, this has been fun, man. it's a learning experience. I'm learning how to do a live show. even though, even though I've been doing this show now for a few weeks now. Yeah, but listen, you guys have been amazing. Y'all have been very helpful. Y'all have been very supportive, and I greatly appreciate it, man. Like I've met some amazing people doing this, like Sig, Ben, Andrew, Sam, and Trish. All you guys have been awesome, man, and it's just again, I'm blessed. I am so blessed to be able to do this and have you guys out there listening and supporting. And I just want to make you guys proud and hopefully just improve every time. Every time I get behind this mic, I try to improve on what I do, or improve in my craft. And it's a work in progress. And one man I owe a lot to this is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I was introduced to him by one. Yeah, man. Brian has been I was introduced to Brian by this publicist, and me and the publicist no longer deal with each other, but I'm thankful for him introducing me to Brian, and being able to connect with Brian has brought me into you guys world, and have y'all interact with me has been great, man. Like I can't complain. I love it, man. Nope, it's not easy doing this alone. It really isn't. I'm learning. And usually, like I said, when I do my show, it's pre-recorded, and I usually have a guest, so I have someone to talk to. So for me to do this alone, you're absolutely right. It's not easy, but thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the support from you guys. Just chatting with me and keeping me going. So thank you. Thanks, Sick. I appreciate it, man. Definitely do appreciate it. Oh yes, this environment is nothing but positive energy, great vibes, and I love that. That's why I love doing this show, because you guys make it so warming and inviting, and just the energy, man. Just nothing but the positive vibes and energy. And I definitely go off of vibes and energy. That's how I roll. It's just being positive and surrounding yourself with positive people. It's what you need in your life, man. And being able to surround myself with Brian and Cole and learn from them, because they have years of experience. Like I said, I'm just new. I just started recently. Like when I started doing the show was me starting my sports analyst career. So to have their guidance and their mentorship means so much to me. To me, it's to have people that believe in me and have faith in me, and listen, this is big for Cole to be like, yo, you got this, bro, do it. That is, to me, like, wow. Like, they see something in me that I didn't see in myself. And when you have people believing in you, then you have nothing but you have to believe in yourself. Thank you, Antrish. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Live shows alone are rough. Great crowd watching the shows. Yes, you guys have made it easier for me. Believe me, I'm nervous as heck, but you guys have put me at ease, just chatting with me and giving me topics to talk about. And again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, man. I am humbled by you guys helping me get through this, helping me do this, and I'm just so thankful. But yeah, this has been dope, man. I'm so happy that I actually got through it. Yes, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys so much, man. You guys have been amazing. Oh man, I don't even know how I'm gonna close. I think I'm gonna close the way I close my show. I don't really know, I can't do Cole because that's Cole's and Brian's thing. Even though, what is it? Who knows what's the saying? Cole always says, right now, my nerves ain't helping me out here. Oh man. If your dream, what is it? Brain freeze. Yes. But again, guys, I appreciate you. Oh man, like right now, I've drawn a blank. I know the phrase that they say. I just can't say it right now. Oh man. But guys, appreciate it, man. You guys rock. And I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I would like to be here tomorrow, but I think I might actually have to put in full days of work tomorrow. So I'm gonna miss the bass coming on. I miss Sam coming on, and definitely Ben coming through. So, but I'll be watching from work, so I'll be chiming in and all that. Oh yes, there we go. Okay. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yes, sick. If your dreams aren't scaring you, they are not big enough. I know I am dreaming big. I know the people in the audience are dreaming big. I appreciate you guys. Oh, yes. Make your move your best move. And if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. And like I said, everyone here is dreaming big, man. I know you guys on the chat are dreaming big because you guys rock. And I know that you guys are making it happen out there, just like me, just like Cole, just like Brian Snow, who's home recovering. And I wish he would have stopped by today, but it's all good. Guys, I appreciate y'all. And you know how your boy Wise does it? That's how I close at my show. I don't even know which one is the closeout scene. They got so many. I am learning. I still don't know which one is like okay, where do we? That's intro. Where's the outros, gentlemen? Y'all didn't give me like, do y'all not have out? I know y'all do because I see it every day. Oh man. Okay, yeah, no. Where is it at? Yeah, I don't know. Thanks, Sig. You have a great day as well. Everyone have a great day. I appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all done for me. But yeah, your boy is gonna be out in a minute whenever I can figure out what is the outro. Listen, there we go. I found it. But everybody have a great day. And you know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.